I don't know what happened there, but yeah, I guess the screen decided to turn on me again. It actually hasn't done that in a while, but when I turn my phone a certain way, it'll automatically turn it. Anywho, guys, sorry about that interruption, but anywho, I am back to review a show called Monsters at Work. Now, if you guys don't know what Monsters at Work is, it's basically a TV show of Monsters Inc. So it takes place, a little like literally after the film at Monsters Inc. Like, I'm not even kidding, it literally takes place after it. Because we have Monsters University, which is a prequel, and then we have this, which is a movie here, and it's a series, which takes place afterwards. So yeah, I want to review this because I want to talk about this, and I feel like it's only fair I review this because I haven't really, been reviewed a lot of Disney Plus stuff. I reviewed some, but honestly, a lot of it's not very good and all that. But I've heard mixed opinions on this show, so I wanted to check it out. So, yeah. So I've checked it out, and now I'm ready to review it. But before I do that, remember to subscribe to my channel, hit the notification bell, so you guys can stay up to, future videos. And, before I get into it, I'm going to talk about this real quick. Now, I'll make a video about this tomorrow, discussing what's going on with me, but I've been acting very strange lately. Apparently, everyone kind of notices it. I've been kind of getting more mean. So I had to go to the hospital last night. I had the option to go last night or today, but like this morning. But I was like, you know what? I want to go at night because that way, I don't have to wake up early and go to the hospital. Luckily, they didn't keep me at the hospital. I'm glad because I've been hospitalized so many times and I've come out pretty much feeling the same. I mean, to be fair, I have been a lot more moody lately than usual. I mean, you guys probably can't tell it on here, but I have. So I went there, and we were sitting there for a long time and all that, and got my new medication and all that. Well, they gave me a sample of it, and it made me pass out. I was literally out all day long. So I wasn't able to post any videos or anything, but I did post something, but on my way to the hospital last night, letting people that I know I might not be posting for a while, but it turns out I should be okay, honestly. But yeah, I just figured I'd share that, and again, I'll talk about it tomorrow because I want to kind of talk about the channel in general and talk about the videos I've gotten behind on. I like to keep up with you guys so you guys know what's going on. But in case you guys see a big emoji, post in my community section on my channel, that's why. Because that's where I post my updates. But I usually post that stuff when I don't have time to make a video or, anything like that. And I did have time to make a video last night, so I post something. But yeah, anywho, let's go ahead and get into this review. So, this is Monsters at Work. So, Monsters at Work is it's a movie that came out apparently in 2021. I thought it came out in 2022, but it came out actually a year before that. Like I said at the beginning of the video, this show came out, the series takes place after the first movie, because there's a prequel movie and then there's this that came out afterwards. I don't know why they didn't make a movie, but they were actually going to make a movie about this. I'll be talking about that here in a little bit, if I remember, because sometimes I don't remember stuff. It'd be nice to just be able to edit my videos and do that, but I haven't had time to fiddle with the program, so, yeah. But yeah, this basically takes place afterwards, and I know people are very mixed on this show. People are very mixed on it. They're very mixed on the show, and I feel like, I'm like, what, maybe I should check it out and see for myself what it is. So I did, and now I'm here to talk about it. So this show is basically about monsters, like new monsters that are coming in. You got, I forgot his name. I remembered his name, and I already forgot it. He's the purple guy of the horns. I remembered his name. I forgot about it. I think it's Tim. Yeah, I think his name's Tim. He's our main character. He apparently wants to be a scarer. He went through college and all that to be a scarer, and then he comes out and ready to scare someone. But then he basically, finds out that, they're not doing scaring anymore because that scares children and all that, and they want to make children happy, which it makes sense, but that kind of tells you how college is. Like, I'm not kidding. In real life, college is like this. A lot of times you go to college, not saying every person going to college will deal with this, but a lot of people going to college, they'll deal with learning this stuff and all that, and then they'll come out and they'll either change something up or they'll add new things. They're basically going to college kind of for nothing, really, you spend all this money going to college and it ends up not working at the end. So he kind of just wasted, like, who knows how many years, going to college. Which, again, I don't know exactly, the whole college thing, I don't really know. I don't know, like, exactly what, how many years they actually go to college in the monster world. But the fact that he wasted all these years going to there, it's kind of silly, and I understand, why he's upset, but yeah, he tries to get used to the change. He meets some friends and all that. And I gotta say, I really don't care about them much. They're kind of just forgettable, honestly. I do like the guy with the, I forgot his name, but I like his little eye. I like his he's an asshole, but he's a likable asshole. He's not a character that make unlikable for the audience. He's an asshole to Tim. I don't know. He has like multiple eyes and all that, and he's probably one of the best characters in the show. And I do like Tim too. Tim's not too bad. Like, Tim's a character we all can relate to going to college and all that, but that's the thing there. We can relate to that, but I really don't care about the girl with the two legs and all that. I don't really care about her. She's kind of just whatever. I don't care about her. I don't care about the old guy with the giant nose. I don't really care about a lot of these characters. They're just all forgettable. I don't really care about them. And on top of that, we also apparently have, with the reboot, they gotta replace characters and all that. So they replaced the old slug gal. I forget what her name was, but they replaced her with her twin sister. They have to do that to introduce new characters, which, I mean, I get why they do that stuff, but they don't really give her much of a personality. She's just kind of whatever, It kind of reminds me of the Magic School Bus when they go out of their way to basically replace Miss Frizzle in the reboot, but they replace him with a character that I don't like. Now, technically, she's got a different personality. She's more energetic, but I still don't like her. She kind of, I don't like when they do that stuff. And they did the same thing, with this reboot too. Not reboot, I mean the show. They replaced them. I mean, she's still in the show, but she's not really in the office anymore. So it's kind of, I don't know, interesting. I mean, and not in a good way, I should say, because I kind of read her, I'd rather them, give her a different personality. I mean, I'm fine with them making her a sister of the other gal, but I don't know. But this show though, this show has, a lot of characters in it, but I gotta say, it's definitely more forgettable. It's more forgettable. Like, I gotta say, it definitely starts off very, very frustrating. Like, we are introduced to these characters, and that one gal does not shut up. She just keeps talking and all that. I mean, she gets a bit better all over the time, but I hate how they introduce these characters. They're kind of all obnoxious and all that, and I guess they're trying to make them like that, for Tim, because, they're trying to make him grow as a person, but by adding a bunch of obnoxious characters that even the audience doesn't like, that's just kind of annoying. But yeah, they kind of basically do that, though. But yeah, basically, though, that's kind of the thing, though. Yeah, they start out pretty rough, but it does get better. It does get better. However, unfortunately, there are quite a few episodes that are either forgettable in this show or they're just frustrating. I'm gonna tell you guys one episode that really pissed me off in this show is the one of the last ones in the second season, because there's 2 seasons of the show. basically what happens is this show has basically Tim apparently, well, Tim, how he wants to be a skater and all that. Basically, he wants to join, this other monster, which I forgot its name. I don't remember the names of a lot of these characters. I kind of forgot about them, but he was one of the college guys. He's the guy with the big horns, with the red jacket and all that. That's kind of what he is. He's basically just that's kind of how he is. He became like a businessman and all that. So they go throughout the show and all that of him trying to talk the purple guy, which and him basically trying to tell him that he could be a skater and all that, and but he wants to be a skater and all that, so he's trying to talk him into it, of backstabbing his parents and all that. He's honestly, his parents, his co-workers and all that. He's kind of basically a forgettable villain, honestly. Because out of nowhere, he finally accepts him and lets him, work there. But throughout the entire show, he kind of, tries to turn him on to his friends and all that. Then he just stops because he doesn't want to work. And then, he lets him out of nowhere go back to him. And he starts working there. So it just feels like it's out of nowhere and it sucks. I really hate it. I really do hate it a lot. It's just annoying, having to see that. I kind of wish they'd actually make him a better villain, he's a villain. He's not the worst villain, but I just hate how out of nowhere he's wanting to bring back, Tyler and all that to, I forgot that's the purple guy, in the front there. In the middle, you see. He wants to, I don't know where it's finally accepting him to go over there, but they don't really build up to it. I kind of wish he didn't, I kind of wish he would have said, maybe he had an opening or something for him or something, but, I don't know, it's just it's out of nowhere. Maybe they did say that, maybe I missed it, but, I don't know, it just feels kind of forced. Well, and that same episode, you also have, him trying, everyone turning on Mike for wrecking the building and all that. They basically turn on him, and it's honestly one of the worst liar reveal things I've ever seen in my entire life. It is freaking awful. People have said that there are, annoying, liar reveal stuff, but that one episode had, a very bad liar reveal thing. Because apparently they look at him and all that, because apparently he was framed or something, but I'm like, even Sully turns his back on him and all that, even though, he knows him better, I don't know, they were having, this nice, father, son, work relationship person, it felt like, Sully was really liking him and all that, and I just hate how they all turn on him and all that, and apparently everyone's all mad at him because basically he was wanting to work out. He told them he turned it down and all that, and, he kept trying to push the other guy and wanted him to work, Tyler wanted to work for him, but it's still kind of frustrating. It's still frustrating to see that, I don't know why they do that. I really don't know. It was just so frustrating. But that's kind of the thing there. And also, appearing Randall reappears to reveal him. He comes back, but he only has a few scenes and all that in the last episode. And it was cool to see Randall again, but apparently at the end of the show too, he reveals that he apparently was the reason why a lot of that stuff happened and all that. And at the end, apparently they revealed that he escaped prison and all that. But I just think this whole show I see what they were trying to do, but I feel like it doesn't really work very well. I feel like maybe if the characters were built better and all that, maybe I would like it a bit more. But there are good episodes. There are some I like. I like one of the episodes where we see what's his name? I forgot his name. Again, he's the multiple-eyed green guy. He's basically playing detective and all that, and it's really funny. I've laughed a few times watching this show. I don't laugh much anymore, but I did laugh a few times watching this show. I mean, it's not really funny. Like, you're not gonna laugh all the time, but there are some funny moments I do like. I do like a lot of funny moments. But yeah, I mean, I just don't, I just feel like, throwing Randall out of nowhere. I kind of wish they hinted at him at the beginning. Maybe he was working behind their backs and all that, and maybe he could have been, he worked behind their back, like working behind Monsters Inc.'s backs, and maybe they revealed him at the end of season 1. That way they could have him in the background, give him more screen time. I think I don't know if it was him or a different voice actor, but one of them was frustrated because they didn't get to play much of a role. And I mean, they gave him some lines, but they really didn't give him a lot to do in the show and all that. And part of me may be saying that because apparently there was supposed to be a sequel to Monsters Inc. that was supposed to come out years ago. It was going to be called Monsters Inc. 2 Lost in Scaradise, is what it was going to be called. Now, I was thinking for a while it was fake, but people are saying it's real, and honestly, I mean, there's actually artwork of it, and I think that I've heard some voice acting of it too. This is before, you had AI and all that, but there was actual voice acting, I think I found, where Mike and Sully were in this scene with this old woman. I think. I could be wrong, but I think I remember seeing voice acting. So, they have the movie in production a long time, and I feel like it would have been nice to see that movie and all that, and they could have still had monsters at work, but it could have been in between, Because that sounds like that would have been a great idea. Plus, it was supposed to be, Randall was actually supposed to be, having a redemption arc where he was going to become a good guy. That would have been kind of nice, And we could have seen the monsters in the real world, interacting with humans. That would have been nice, I think there was supposed to be a human villain, too. A human villain. So that would have been really cool. I mean, there was, one problem I have that even someone else pointed out to me in not my videos, but someone else's, and talking about, that wouldn't work because the humans, because Boo was growing up and didn't see Sully and all that anymore, but that was, one nitpick and all that, and I mean, they could have taken that out and all that. That would have been nice, but the fact is, though, again, we don't have that sequel, and we have the university one. That kind of sucks. And I mean, I like the university movie. I thought it was pretty good. A lot of people don't like it, but I think it's pretty cool seeing, the monsters, at college, seeing them, how they became, the scarers, So it's pretty nice. But yeah, I don't know, I would have loved to see that movie and all that. Sadly, Circle 7 Animation Studio shut down. I don't think they made any movies. I don't know if they made anything, because they got shut down. Because when Bob Iger came in 2005, he bought out Pixar and shut them down. So, sadly, they shut down Circle 7 Animation, which is really, it's another great thing that Disney did, And I don't know, I've been hearing people saying that Pixar may not be around too much longer either. I've been saying that too. Because they've now just laid off 14% of their staff, and the staff they have currently, because they've already laid off people at Pixar, I think, before. Now they're doing it again. So yeah, I don't know. I just said it's just kind of, Pixar just doesn't seem to be doing very good, but, yeah, I don't know when the movie was going to come out. I may talk about the movie more later. Maybe there might be some more details later, more information on the story. But I don't know. Right now, we just have monsters at work. But yeah, I gotta say, I just think, this show has good and bad episodes. The episodes are good and bad. They're all not that great. It's kind of hit or miss for them, I mean, there are some episodes I do like, but there aren't really many that are great, but I mean, I don't like how it's every episode. I mean, literally every episode, it's the same character that causes the problem. Yeah, it's the same. Tyler is literally the same character that causes the problems every single time. Every time there's a problem, it's always Tyler's fault. I wish they would make other characters have, problems too that they create and need to fix, instead of it just being Tyler. It's Tyler all the time, literally every time. So you can say it's very predictable when you know who's gonna be, when you watch the episodes, you know who's gonna be, the one causing the trouble. Now sometimes it's not really Tyler's fault, but they're trying to make him look like the bad guy in some of these episodes, and it doesn't work. I mean, like the baseball episode, I mean, it was nice seeing, the monsters playing baseball and all that, but I did not like how the other guy was trying to, by picking him as a teammate, and they all got pissed off at him, and, and even his friend, the yellow girl, which I don't know her name, I forgot her name, she basically just, is pissed at him because, he wasn't listening to her, but he's playing a fucking game. Of course he wasn't listening to her. He was busy trying to freaking hit a ball. You don't just talk to someone, while they're hitting a ball. But, I mean, to be fair, I think he was doing that too. But that's the problem, though. They do this crap all the time, and I just don't like that about the show. But there are good episodes, and in the theme song, get the theme song. The theme song is, in my opinion, it's okay. Like, it actually grew. I mean, at first I was like, I didn't really like it, but it grew on me over time. It's basically, it's basically like a remixed version of the, the Monsters Inc., intro that plays, for the first movie. It plays there, Yeah, it plays through the intro, the Disney intro, the castle intro and all that, and it basically goes into the movie, so it plays in there all the time, it plays in there all the time, but, like, and it's kind of nice, but I don't really care for it too much, but yeah, I'm not, but yeah, I think it's still, it's still good, but I don't think it's as good as the instrumental one, but I do like how they, try to change that up. Trying to think if there's anything else to add. Oh yeah, the Abominable Snowman makes an appearance again too. The Abominable Snowman, he was actually voiced, I forgot his name, but the actor who played him, but he voiced a lot of characters throughout the Pixar movies. He apparently stopped after Onward. He disappeared for a couple years and then came back. So I'm like, I just find that funny, he just came back, like he literally came back and all that, and because he apparently left Pixar, and I don't know, I mean, I was thinking for a while that it was because of all the crap that they were doing at Pixar, but I guess maybe the fact that he came back, they either must have paid him, or he just chose to come back. I'm not sure exactly what happened. It's not very clear. I was looking it up. It's not very clear why he left Pixar, but I was thinking because he was probably fed up with Disney, because Disney owns Pixar, and all that, and they've been, laying off employees, screwing people over. I mean, they've canceled, like, they screwed over Pixar back during the COVID and all that. They put their movies in the theaters, but put, like, Pixar on streaming, so people weren't going to streaming to watch, weren't able to go to the theaters and watch Pixar movies. So, I don't know what happened, but he's back and all. He's apparently going to be in Inside Out 2 as well, so he must have decided to come back. I don't know, but he's definitely old. He's like almost 80 years old. I think he's 78, so he's old. He's an old person. He's 77 or 78. I can't remember, but he's definitely up there when it comes to age, But I don't know. I don't know what happened, but it's nice to hear his voice again, and all that. But yeah, he was supposed to come back too in the Monsters in Scaradise, too. He was supposed to come back there, but of course it's got canceled, so we got this. But yeah, I don't know, but I'm trying to think if there's anything else I need to add. There really isn't really much to say about this, because I'm gonna go ahead and just give this a score, because I think I said pretty much about everything I need to say. This show is getting a meh and 51 points. Yes, 51 points. Yeah, this show is very, very divisive for me. On one hand, it does have funny moments, and it does have a lot of episodes I like. But it also has some episodes I really don't like, and a lot of them are not that great. A lot of the episodes in this show are not that great. They're just frustrating, They're just frustrating to watch. but they're frustrating, and I'm like they're like really bad at times. And the ones that are good are not that good, I mean, there might be a few that I actually really liked. I mean, I guess there is one I really liked. It was where they were going to like a place, like a comic convention or something. They were going there to sell merchandise and all that. I thought that episode was really good. But everything else is kind of, the episodes are either good and not that great, or they're just like just bland and boring. So yeah, this show just doesn't. I don't know. This show is not that great to me, but yeah, I probably wouldn't even watch it. I wouldn't watch this show probably much again. I might come back to it in the future, maybe, but to watch a few episodes. But most of it's just forgettable. Like and I feel really bad for Tyler because he's trying his best and all that, and yeah, he does need to know that scaring kids is not okay. But I feel like they have all these touching moments too in the show, which I haven't brought up yet. But I was just gonna give it a score first, then bring it up, and I have. So, but yeah, there's a lot of touching moments in this show, but they're not. They're rushed. It feels rushed. Like for example, Sully talking to Tyler. He's talking to Tyler, and he's trying to tell him. He's trying to tell him, about Boo and all that, but it feels very rushed and all that. Like he doesn't explain. Like he goes into, like he tells us what happened with Boo and all that, but he doesn't really go into detail and all that. So it feels very forced and all that and rushed. But yeah, this show is definitely something I wouldn't watch again anytime soon, and I don't really have a desire to really watch it at all. I mean, maybe if it has a DVD release, maybe I'll buy it, but I really don't have a plan to really watch it again. It's just whatever. I mean, it's nice we get to see Randall and the Abominable Snowman again, but I'd rather have had a sequel to Monsters, Inc. than this, honestly. I mean, it's nice to have them trying to make more Monsters, Inc. stuff, so we can see more Mike and Sully and all that, but the rest of it's just kind of whatever. I don't really care for it, and I wouldn't mind seeing the sequel again. I mean, it would make much sense now because technically, Randall and the Abominable Snowman were in that canceled sequel and all that, so it wouldn't make sense to have make that. But at the same time, I'm like they keep changing crap and remaking it anyway. So I'm like, they might as well just re-release the sequel to Monsters Inc. too, because I mean, if they're going back and making more sequels for Pixar anyway, I mean, for God's sakes, we have a freaking Toy Story 5 coming on the way, and I don't know how I feel about that, because the fourth one was awful. I mean, the fourth one wasn't awful because they were running out of ideas. It was awful because of the way they handled the characters. I was actually kind of excited for the fourth movie, and I watched it and was not happy about it at all. So, yeah, I don't know, but but tell me what you guys think about the show if you've seen it. If you guys haven't, then, you guys can tell me what you guys think about, the two Monsters, Inc. movies. Let me know in the comments below, and I'll see you all next time. Bye-bye.